All right. Trump law and order crushed the L.A. riots and the Democrats, and that's the subject of the riff. So Donald Trump chose criminal deportation, law and order, and tough on crime. Meanwhile, California Democrats Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass, they chose lawsuits and states' rights. Who do you think won this round? I'd say Trump 10, Democrats 0. It's just hard to believe that removing illegal alien criminals who have committed sexual assault and murders would be attacked by one of our two major political parties. But that's the state of play among Democrats. Shame on Gavin Newsom in particular. And good for Senator John Fetterman for being just about the only Democrat to stand up and say that while peaceful free speech is good, violent protest is not, and Democrats should not be defending violent protests. And Board Czar Tom Homan absolutely right that Newsom and Bass should be thanking ICE for making California a safer place. In an interview with Greta Van Susteren, Tom Homan said, and I'll quote, "What angers me the most, Greta, people aren't looking at the facts. ICE arrested significant public safety threats in the last few days in L.A. We arrested a murderer, a Vietnamese national who murdered teenagers at a graduation party. We arrested several sexual predators, child sexual predators. We arrested people convicted of armed robbery, arrested people for domestic violence, and all sorts of public safety threats," end quote. And as protesters and troublemakers turned to violence to oppose ICE's safety actions, remarkably, incredibly, the Democrats chose to support the rioters, committing arson, looting, smashing cop cars, throwing rocks at ICE agents, spitting on the American flag, setting it on fire, and spray painting "Death to American" graffiti on government buildings. Now, President Trump's rapid action to protect public safety and avoid a truly massive insurrection by bringing in the National Guard and Marines was a stroke of genius. While Newsom was whining that local law enforcement didn't need help, Trump sent the troops in anyway, and by the way, L.A. Police Chief McDonnell acknowledged that he needed federal help. Also part of Trump's law and order genius was putting Attorney General Pam Bondi and DHS Secretary Kristi Noem on the highly rated Sean Hannity show last night on Fox News. The two senior law enforcement officers made it very clear that no crimes will be tolerated, and they're ready to send people to jail. And the FBI identified the suspect who was accused of assaulting a federal officer. That suspect will probably go to jail. Now, here's Attorney General Pam Bondi firing out a tough-as-nails warning last night on Hannity. Take a listen.
You spit on a federal law enforcement officer, no more. As President Trump said, you spit, we hit. Get ready. If you spit on a federal law enforcement officer, we are going to charge you with a crime federally. You are looking at up to 5 years maximum in prison.
There you have it. Tough as nails. Did the pro-criminal looters and rioters see any of this on cable TV? Well, I'll bet they did, or I'll bet they heard about it. And isn't it interesting that most of the rioting and violence kind of fizzled out as the night wore on, as the Trump administration made its law and order views crystal clear? There's a new sheriff in town. His name is Donald Trump. He's not going to tolerate law breaking. Chaos on the streets will not be tolerated. Repeats of the summer of 2020 will not be tolerated. Local sanctuary cities and states must give way to federal law. Now, how the Democrats can completely misjudge these national trends, as well as misjudging Donald Trump's determination, is beyond understanding. And back to Mr. Tom Homan, who will continue ICE operations in L.A. and nationwide in the search for illegal immigrants. He added that it's essential that Congress pass the One Big Beautiful Bill, which gives ICE more resources to go out and arrest public safety threats, complete the border wall, pay for the necessary new technologies at the wall and other points of entry, and basically go out and fund ICE sufficiently. Mr. Homan said the illegal immigration crisis is a national security issue as well as a public safety issue. And last November 5th, voters gave President Trump a mandate to clean it up. So, as I said, Trump 10, Democrats 0. And that's the riff.